Good day. In this video, we'll be talking about applications beyond blockchain. Let's first have a quick refresher to the definition of blockchain. To put it simply, blockchain is a decentralized chain of digital records split into blocks secured by cryptography and is commonly known for its application, Bitcoin. But beyond its application in cryptocurrency, blockchain can be used in many other applications. Listed here are the major advantages of blockchain. A blockchain network is inherently distributed, such that the ledger is copied and stored in hundreds to thousands of nodes in the network, essentially making it resistant to malicious attacks and other failures that could ruin data integrity. It is also decentralized in such a way that no organization or body controls the system or has the right to decide and change the properties and parameters of the network. Blockchain is also trustless. Since the transactions are verified by the distributed network of nodes through a process called mining, there is no need for the two parties involved in the transaction to trust an intermediary such as banks or credit card companies, which in turn also cuts costs of transactions. And lastly, blockchain is immutable. Once data has been stored in the blockchain, changing or removing the data will be quite a challenge, making it a good tool to store records. And these advantages also come with their disadvantages. The 51% attack is where a group tries to control more than 50% of the network. With blockchain's growth, it is highly unlikely that this attack will ever happen, but still, nonetheless, theoretically possible. As previously discussed, one of the main advantages of blockchain is its immutability, but it can also be a disadvantage when something is needed to be changed, but is already registered in the network. Another disadvantage is its use of private keys for each blockchain address. Think of it like the wallet that stores your physical money. If you lose your wallet, you lose your money, and such. If you lose your private key, you lose cryptos or any data in the blocks. Just like human warfare, blockchain is inefficient. In a war, manpower and energy is wasted, just like how mining in blockchain works. Blockchain is like a competition in a way that only one miner wins every 10 minutes or so, leaving the work of the losing miners to dust. So they say, in war, only the winning party get to write history, and to blockchain, only the winning miners get to write a new block. And lastly, we have storage. Blockchain is immutable, and that's a good thing. But it's so immutable, so much so we can't really modify, delete, or move the data elsewhere, maybe to a new drive or something. And since blockchain is also distributed, the countless nodes in the network will also store the same copy of data in their systems, exponentially increasing the space eaten for each data in the network. Now, let us discuss the other non-crypto-based blockchain applications. Our first example is something we currently desperately need in our country, a voting platform powered by blockchain. Since blockchain is immutable, changing something already registered in the block would be extremely difficult and virtually impossible if they plan to change a big portion of data. Blockchain will also increase the trust in vote counting, as transparent election results may be available for more viewers, without compromising voters' privacy. One such technology was already developed in the US, called Follow My Vote. During the year of 2021 alone, over 40 million patient records have been compromised, according to the US Federal Bureau of Investigation. Personal information such as names, birth dates, addresses, financial information, and even social security numbers may be changed, deleted, sold, leaked, or locked for ransom. Using a blockchain-based record system like MedRec developed in 2016, patient data integrity and security is promised, using smart contracts to create a decentralized content management system for healthcare data. MedRec authentication log governs access to the medical records, while simultaneously providing means for auditability and data sharing. Next, we have blockchain-based supply chain. One of the biggest impacts of blockchain has on supply chains is its ability to improve tracking. Using the immutable public records of every transaction in the blockchain, tracking down a single component of a product way back to the factory it was made from is made possible assuming this factory uses the platform. This is especially popular for eco-conscious users who want to trace a crop or produce down to the farm where it was grown to check for its integrity. Blockchain benefits everyone: the consumer, the manufacturer, and the root source of the materials. It provides accountability to procurement, allows manufacturers to keep tabs on their suppliers, and allows the suppliers to create an economic identity and collect money. While it is reassuring to have our personal data, such as social security card, birth certificate, and other personal records physically hidden in our storage at home or office, these records may someday be lost by accident or even stolen by someone. These records make up our personal identity in the society, and regaining these records will be difficult once lost. Take the current Russia-Ukraine war, for example. People are forced to evacuate their homes with haste, and chances are a lot of them lost their personal identification records in the advent of war. For a less extreme example, us being the forgetful and careless humans as we are, we could have tucked in the original copy of our birth certificates in a school project folder or something and forgot about it. Depending on the circumstances, getting a fresh copy of these records could be a tedious and/or expensive task. With blockchain, users are able to upload these identification records into the internet, and when physical copies are lost, are able to easily regain access to these records no matter where or what the situation of the user is. Another example of having digital copies of records in a blockchain network is the possibility of cross-border traveling without needing physical identification records. Accenture developed a blockchain platform called Known Traveler Digital Identity, or the KTDI, in 2020, which would accelerate passenger flux in airports and also improve passenger comfort, experience, and overall security. In conclusion, the possibilities of other blockchain applications beyond cryptocurrency is endless, although deployment might be challenging at first, since it may be hard for the involved parties to have a consensus on a certain standard. When launched, these applications are basically tamper-proof and would add transparency and efficiency to our transactions. Just as how money evolved from bartering and became an everyday necessity, blockchain will outgrow traditional transactions and become an object of indispensability. With the current trend and evolving technology, blockchain is most likely here to stay like money.